A brief view on what is the Bible anyway. So the first section is the first 5 books, commonly called the Torah. Moses describes the creation of the world, the corruption that soon causes havoc on it, and the promises God makes to set everything right. God's purpose is to select a people through whom he will bless and restore all of creation. The Bible continues with the promised land of Canaan and how it is conquered by God's people. But their peace is only temporary because they soon start worshiping the false gods of the pagans. God eventually sends his people into exile after patiently pleading with them to come back to him. A few of God's people return to their homeland and start rebuilding their destroyed city. An ray of hope emerges. Then comes the poetical books, which provide us with commentary and of omens of good and bad things to come. The poetical books are Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon. The final section of the Old Testament is the major and minor prophets. Concluding chapters keep urging populace to turn back to God. They convey the promise and the plan of God to deliver the world through the promised Savior, his Son, with a message of hope and conviction. By way of prophetic foreshadowing, the Old Testament gets us ready for the coming of God's Son. The New Testament makes him plainly visible. So now we have the next section, which is the New Testament, in which Jesus of Nazareth is clearly identified in the Gospels as the long-awaited and prophesied Savior. They put a lot of emphasis on his crucifixion and resurrection, through which he works to deliver humanity from the effects of sin and death. After the Gospels is the book of Acts, which is the early church beginnings, and the Gospels' dissemination to various lands. The remainder of the New Testament is made up of various letters that were written to instruct, inspire, and correct false beliefs and actions. It ends by outlining what will take place when Jesus does return. The Bible is one continuous narrative with Christ as its main character. The one story of the Bible we can now look back and see at its entirety, which is such a benefit of understanding. Faith is also a huge component of the Gospels, but the Bible makes it easy to have faith once you have the understanding of it as a whole.